And
I'm quick. I'm like a rabbit. But like, dude, I shot that elk. I was happy as a pig in poo. Like, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. First day, the sun's not even up. But you have a gas tank, and then there's a line that runs out of that, and it has fuel in it, and it's flammable. I'm like, I would have had a fire going that they would have seen in D.C.
And it's a collection of indie filmmakers. Some of them are much better looking than other ones.
Generally, panic is what kills you in a survival situation. And I always use the analogy of my wife wants she wants a gun that'll shoot down trees, that doesn't make noise and doesn't kick. And they just don't have that.
Come on, Charlie. Tell us how you're doing it. Come on, man. How are you calling in those bulls? I can't do it, dude. Yeti, bloody Yeti.
Calf sleeve shirt, is that like a wife beater?
No, not quite.
Is it just you cut the sleeves off?
It's more redneck instead of white trash. So the
someday I hope to be a redneck.
The sleeve.
We got 10 minutes. He can get here in about 2 minutes. We're good, right? And he hits the road, stumbles on his face. Book by its cover for one, but two, this dude's killed more with a stick bow than most people could think about. And here we are. Guys are bashing him because he took one, shot an elk a long ways with a gun. I guess
people don't realize that that's a choice. That's what you're out there to do. Right. It's, they look, you couldn't have got any closer. Well, you were making the choice. You were out there trying to do that.
Don't shoot the black spot. That looks like the moose. It's to the right of that. And we're literally within 2 minutes of illegal shooting light. And so he's like...
On this episode of Gritty Bowmen, I took a break from running the show, and in my place, Aron and Anthony interview Aron's longtime friend, Ryan Avery, co-owner of Rokslide. These two have known each other for years and can rib each other like only good friends can. If you're not already logging on to Rockslide and checking things out, give it a look. The site is packed with top-notch backcountry hunting information. I hope you enjoy the show.
If you like the show, please go to our website at grittybowmen.com and subscribe to this podcast and tell your mates and pals about us. Do us a favour and please take a moment to leave us a rating or a review on iTunes or on our YouTube channel. Send your questions and podcast ideas to grittybowmen@gmail.com. If you're listening to this on iTunes, you can see the video version of this podcast on our website at www.grittybowmen.com.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Gritty Bowmen. We're at the 2016 Western Hunt Expo. I've got Ryan Avery with me, owner of Rokslide.com, and Anthony Spencer. And today we're going to just talk about the relationship that Ryan and I have about Rockslide, how it got started. And so you and I actually were one of the three founders, I guess, of Rockslide. It was David Long, myself, and Ryan. Ryan was the guy that actually built the website and did all the IT work, and you still own it now with Robbie, right?
Right. We'd been I pestered you from the year before, 2 years ago, before Rockslide started in 2012, to get something going that's purely backcountry based and purely on outdoor gear for the backcountry hunter. And we've kind of branched out a little bit from there, but mostly we've stayed on track with what you and David had brought to the table. Right.
And a few twists and turns aside, that went to hell in a handbasket with David. And I got to, for multiple different reasons, I couldn't keep up. So you guys bought the majority of Rockslide, all the Rockslide from me. And now you guys have to deal with that. And then I just hop on every now and then. I got my hands full with everything with Kafaru. But we've probably, we've hunted together multiple.
5 or 6 times.
5 or 6 times, yeah. We shot bear hunting mostly. I'm going to hunt elk with you this year. But I came out for, what was I out there, 3 weeks for moose?
Yeah, 3 weeks for moose.
Moose. There's supposed to be some background to this moose story, right?
We'll get to that.
Every time we go out, it's an epic cluster something.
Epic cluster.
Yeah. Well,
mostly because I'm always prepared and ready when Aron shows up, and we're ready to go right out the door.
Yeah, not really. There's usually a day of prep. The bear hunt was like that, although that worked out good.
Was that the Idaho bear hunt?
Yeah, this last one. We shot a couple bears while we were out there, but we went to did another hunt after the one in 2015 where I shot that big black bear. We went a month later and backpacked in a lot farther than I thought we were going to for a bear, but it's 17 feet deep of snow. There's snow everywhere. It's deep, deep. In fact, I felt bad when we hiked in because I was walking, and I think that snow was 6, 7 feet deep.
Yeah, we were walking on some snow.
And it melted. And so then he followed me in. I'm like, just follow my tracks. There was no tracks to be followed when we got in there. It melted off so fast.
Yeah, he decided to go in a day early with a guy named Billy and my friend Kelly. Well, they're both my friends. But anyways, he says, yeah, just follow the tracks. And anytime you have to follow Aron Snyder, you're always in for adventure.
Yeah.
And I got about, 100 yards from the truck and told my wife that I really need to work on my fitness. Because
time to pitch camp.
Well, we had to stop. The snow was deep, so we had to park about a mile down the road from the actual trailhead. By the time I got to the actual trailhead, I was about to pass out. And I had my son with me. He's 15. He weighs about $105, and he kept on pestering me. What's up, Dad? How come you can't hang, Dad?
You had about 70 pounds of crap on, didn't you?
Yeah, I was rocking the hero load and about fell out.
Wow.
I had a lot of food, which he ate us out of, and Tanya had food, but Tanya's pack wasn't properly fit, so I felt bad and took a little more than her.
It was all three of you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a trooper, though. So was he.
Yeah. Well, yeah, both Tanya and Lane did good. Tanya's actually filming us with a cell phone now. Is that going on Rockslide, Tanya?
You periscoping, Tanya?
Are you periscoping? Oh, I just learned. I still don't technically know what periscoping is.
I don't have a clue what that is.
Yeah, it's I think she videos us and asks questions and people reply. Is that what it is?
It's a live video thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, we're all rednecks. That's why we don't know. But yeah, the moose hunt I came out for was that 3 weeks? I came out twice.
Yeah, you came out, I think, 9 days the first time and 9 days the second. And we didn't shoot a damn thing, but we had a lot of fun. I later shot a moose 2 weeks after.
Yep. And we had a lot. I mean, he passed up a lot of moose. They just weren't big moose. Well,
and I'd missed one. I just flat missed one, a nice one.
Yeah, that was.
So
a
it
big
must
one.
have been archery then.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, he missed it at 1180, 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had a bad wind call, a really bad wind call, perfect height. He shot right behind it. But the next day, the biggest moose we saw. I'll tell this story. I'm talking to my wife on the phone. Right. I'm gonna little visual here. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Sun's just coming up, and hey, honey, I love you. And you think that moose was probably 58, 62 wide?
It was the biggest moose I've ever seen on the hoof.
And I'm like, shoot that mother now, shoot it now. He's trying to get out of the truck and follow it off the road, and you couldn't get around load it.
No, I couldn't get around loaded. It was in the back of the truck.
He went Jason Bourne on that. He came out with the 40, and I see him coming off the hill.
Literally?
Yeah, 10 millimeter.
10 millimeter, man.
Oh, wow.
And my wife's on the phone on the floor. And, I mean, I get a little loopy when I see animals that size. And, I mean, I'm calling out the window, and I'm like, and he's trying to run off the side of the road. You almost got it.
Yeah, it was just a daylight, and I was kind of groggy, and I could see him running up this. I could see him running up this road. And Aron can tell you, I am not a morning person. He has to hit me. He has to come over and give me red line, kind of IV it into me. And I am a very, very crappy morning person. But I could see it coming up the side, and I got an old Dodge, 99 Dodge Cummins, and it's cacking along, and I couldn't believe that I saw that big of a moose kind of paralleling us on this old skid truck coming up the road.
5 yards away.
And then if you know us, we say a lot of F-bombs. And
I lost my – I mean, I shoot that now. Get out now. I'm trying to kick him out the door. Well, go ahead.
I run down the road, and the funniest thing is if you've ever heard of 99, they're quite the cackler. And all I can hear is this faint moose call coming from the truck.
It stopped cackle.
Yeah.
Oh, it stopped it. I mean,
stopped it cold. I almost had it.
And then at the hill, this was the best part because Ryan and I are both prior military. He's cleared a lot of houses, right? He pulls out of that black. You got a Black Hawk holster. He comes out. I mean, it literally. He went into straight clearing mode. And he comes off the cliff, and I can see him going. I'm like, he might get it with a pistol.
I had one fading shot, man.
Oh.
And he was legit. So plus 50 Cyrus bull, which is a big bull.
Wow.
He had some non-typical stuff going on, so it's.
He probably hit 180. big bull.
So I've never hunted moose, but you just can't turn a bull like that up again. He just vanished. Never could turn him up again.
If you've ever been to North Idaho, people don't understand when
this is a North Idaho tag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it
either
was Colorado or something.
20 yards or you're 800 yards. There's really no in between. And you get the guys that say, well, you could just sneak up on it. And I was like, come on over and sneak up on it.
Well,
that's
we had
jungle up there.
We did a live hunt with it, which was a mistake because you had every chuckle puppet from here to Mississippi telling us what we should do. And if it was that simple, we would have we had everything from, you probably have an arsenal at your house. We weren't under-weaponed, that's for sure, and we have great optics. But if it was as easy as, I don't think people understand, and if we were here and the moose was 600 yards away, to hike to it was probably 4 hours, and to drive to it was 2 hours, right? An hour and a half, because you got those, what the hell do you call those, Jimmy humps?
Kelly humps.
Kelly humps.
Yeah.
It's close.
Tank
Kelly
traps.
humps.
Kelly humps.
Oh, yeah.
See,
all those
Jimmy
old logging roads.
Kelly hump, Jimmy hump, right? It's not like you can just, jump in the Dodge and do 45 over there. So a lot of this we were watching clear cuts, and we would see multiple moose, but part of it was in the rut, and they wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
I mean, and at 700-800 yard shot, have to be standing still. So, but we got the best. The story we were talking about, what had snowed, 2 feet, 3 feet?
It snowed a lot.
Blizzard, right? And I like to walk, so I walked out on this ledge, and Ryan's in this other area. We had mule deer tags, too, and I had, I don't know if you probably didn't listen to it. We did a long-range story about me, the long-range miss machine. I'm not real good with ballistic turrets. And he went over there to watch for moose because I'd seen a big moose in there and that deer.
Right.
And I went the other way, so I hiked way over, sitting on the road, and the fog had come in, and it was thick. So I just plopped my big butt down, wrapped myself up in a whoopee, and I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
The fog lifts, and like 89 yards below me, there's a 180-inch moose, and there's multiple moose. So I get on the phone, and Katie, I'm going to try and leave cuss words out of this, but it's going to be difficult. I get on the phone, like, get your big ass over here. Now. And he's like, what? I'm like, dude, there's a toad below me. We probably had less than a mile.
Right. That's probably right at a mile, I'm guessing.
In deep snow, and I'm like, leave the gun. I've got the Tika because I got a deer tag, and they're just feeding. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching.
So Ryan's a mile away.
Yeah,
I'm a mile away, and I have a Canyon rifle, which is 16 pounds.
Yeah,
plus ammo, and he's like, leave your and get over here now.
I need you here, not the rifle.
And I said, what? And he's like, just start running. And I am no peak of fitness by any stretch of the imagination, but it looked just like a gentle slope. So I'm running, and it's ankle plus deep snow, and I run. And by the way, he's texting me the whole time. Get the blank over here. He's moving.
Going.
It's getting dark. Why are you so fat? He just keeps going on and on. Well, I run it, and I finally see the road that he's on. He's on an old skid trail. And I get to the road, and I turn, and I was like, I'm going to puke. I'm going to puke.
Well, from my view, I'm looking down the road because I'm watching the moose because I'm thinking, pretty cut and dry, right? 30 minutes after daylight. And I'm like, okay, we got 17 minutes. We got 12 minutes. And I'm looking at him down, and I'm like, we got 10 minutes. He can get here in about 2 minutes. We're good, right? And he hits the road, stumbles on his face, and I can see him puking. And I'm like, oh, we're going to need all of this 8 minutes, right? So he gets to me, and he goes, and I'm like, dude, are you going to die? I mean, he was that runner's lung. And I'm like, okay, go at 100 yards. There's a pecker pole. At the pecker pole, to the right, there's a green tree. It's about 10 feet tall.
Well, wait. When I get to the road, this is the part that I keep telling that pissed me off, is I puke, and I look up the road, and Aaron's like an air traffic controller trying to think that he's going to wave me in faster by flopping his arms around and doing all these weird moves, and I just remember that going, brother, you ain't going to get me there any faster at all. But go ahead.
So, of course, I've been watching these for probably 2 hours. It took him an hour to get there, right? It took probably over that. So I'm
it didn't take me no hour. It took me 20, 25 minutes, dude.
It was
seemed like an hour.
It was a long time.
Dude, an hour. Oh, my good God.
He was like, I'm like, okay, out straight, 100 yards, there's a tree. It's a dead tree. And this is in a clear cut. And I'm like, to the right of that tree, there's a 13-foot tall whatever pecker or a pine tree, whatever it was. And I'm like, directly behind that, there's a black spot. Don't shoot the black spot. That looks like the moose. It's to the right of that. And we're literally within 2 minutes of illegal shooting light. And so he's like, it's right there. You can't. But I've been watching it the whole time, so I know right where it's at.
That part's true.
Yeah, and
I
he
could not breathe.
And so I'm like, okay, so he shoots, and I'm like, what'd you shoot? And he's like, I shot the black spot, and the moose all run out. And how many moose were in there?
Like 5 or 6.
Yeah, bulls,
wow.
right? So
wow.
first, I say, I'm going to walk down and make sure you didn't hit it. And he's like, well, you're going alone.
It was a steep hill, man. I was at the end of the rope.
He goes, I'll drive out and come around and pick you up down there. I'm not going down there. And because he still had to go back, right? And
Get the gun and walk back around.
the best part of this is, well, there's several best parts, but we get back in the truck and he's drinking a Coke. He couldn't.
A little recovery.
Dude, that's my drug.
Well, he couldn't laugh for a week without going into a coughing fit because there was some stuff down in there probably from the 90s.
Dude, that was probably the hardest I've ever ran since I got out of the Army. I mean, I was literally, I got to the road and you can feel it in your face. You're like, you know you're not keeping it down. And it came out.
So I take it you didn't hit it.
No. We
No.
didn't. I shot something I don't even think was it. But
No,
ethics aside, I had brain was, no oxygen in the brain. I don't know what the hell I was doing.
Well, and you could tell when I've pushed myself that hard, but you probably have too, right? You don't think.
You start going caveman.
Yeah, you don't think correct, like complex,
Fine motor skills, gone.
They're gone, right? And so I'm like, and of course, it's not like I'm the little angel. It's like, oh, you shouldn't take that shot. I'm like, it's right there, shoot. It's by that tree. Well, he shot. He was 10 feet from where the moose was. And then all the moose run away. I'm like, I'm going to go make sure you didn't hit it. He's like, well, you're going alone.
And back in that story, the luxury of hunting with Aron Snyder is Aron is the opportunist killer. So day one, he was trying to get me to shoot spike moose. And he was calling them to the tent.
We called it, they were coming to the teepee. Well, I come out, and I can hear it, right? And so I zip the teepee down, I peek my head out, and I'm like, get the gun, there's one right here.
And then I'm standing on the side of the tent. He goes, I would shoot it. He's like, Kelly, would you shoot that moose? And Kelly's like, hell yeah. And he goes, me too. Shoot it, Ryan. Shoot it.
And then literally he's 40 yards behind the teepee.
And my wife just wants to meet, so she's like, we're hunting, I'm doing a live hunt. And she's like, shoot the moose, Ryan. Shoot the moose.
Yeah. Well, then we had one, and we thought this. Yeah, we did hunt a lot. You and I were I was thinking 24.
In the 20s. I hunted 42 days total before I shot a moose, and that was getting down to where they were starting to drop early. They're actually dropping antlers. I figured I would shoot one.
We had one moose there was a big moose in this one area, and I was calling it in, and you can, when Ryan's ready to, he's going to go full tactical. I see him. I'm like, oh, because I'm, and I see him grab the gun. I'm like, oh, it's coming. We're going to kill one. And he sets the gun down. He comes over. He's like, that worked perfect. I'm not shooting that moose. I'm like, are you sure you don't want to shoot that moose? Because it came out of, strip of timber, clear cut strip of timber.
Yeah.
It came out of the one strip, and he's standing above it. And was it 100 yards?
Yeah, maybe.
And then we had a lot of moose around us. The biggest moose that I probably saw, the best chance he would have had, he was taking Luke and Becca
Moffett
back to the airport. And I was sitting where I missed this buck. And I sent you photos, huge moose came out, and I'm a dick, right? I'm like, hey, they can miss the plane, turn around, come back, it ain't going anywhere. And Ryan's not like that, obviously. He took him to the airport, but that was another good opportunity of a very, very large moose.
Yeah, I'm not a rocket scientist, but why did the guy with the tag go to the airport?
He had the vehicle, I guess.
You ever seen Aron drive? Oh, shit.
Yeah. I think that, because that was the second trip, and it was rough weather. The first trip, it rained the whole time. Second trip, it snowed the whole time.
A lot. Yeah, and it was good. I mean, there was a lot of moose up there. You ever want an elk or a moose caller? Hire Aron Snyder. That dude can call some moose. Well, I think you called in about 15 or 20 total, didn't you?
Yeah, I called in a lot of moose. I mean, I've since I've gotten to hunt, all over in Colorado. The thing with Colorado, the beauty of it is, if it works, because those moose in early season are at 11.5. They're they're above tree line. So what's working and what's not. And when they're in the rut, which calls to use. And I'm not whatever, Eva Shockey, whatever, Jim Shockey, whatever. I'm not Jim Shockey, right? But I can call moose in. So in the, the territories or whatever, what's crazy is some of the moose in the lower 48, they look like they belong up in Alaska or what. We're pulling out some big Shiras in Utah, Idaho, Colorado. We just shot a 203, I think, in Colorado with a stick bow last year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and then we got to talk about the bear hunt. So,
which one?
Well, last year's. Well, we could talk.
We talk a lot of bear hunting.
Yeah, but I missed a lot with the gun, right? So the one time I bring the bow, I don't want to talk about all the misses. Was so Ryan is like, yeah, I've got a couple baits ready. Anyway, we'll be good to go. So I get there, you didn't have anything, Pat.
Dude, I had it all worked out for you. I kind of knew that bear was going to be sitting up there when you walked up there.
So nothing's ready, right? We load everything. We actually even stayed that night.
This is up north again?
Yep.
Yeah.
For guys who haven't hunted there, up north, it's like on the coast in Oregon, huh? It doesn't get much thicker than that.
Very similar.
So we're at camp, and I'm a walker, right? I'm like, where should I go? And he's like, well, you can go up, Smith Creek, and I've seen bears in there. And he names like 20 places off. Well, I'm like, well, you've lived here your whole life. Everywhere you've went, you've seen bears. So he drops me off in the one spot he thinks is good, and I have 12 power Swarovskis on me, and I'm like, I can't see for me to be rent, right? So I'm like, he takes them from me. And he didn't take. I mean, he asked. I didn't mind. Here, take these. So now I hike up the trail, and it's immediate reprod. For those of you who don't, reproduction growth. I can't see from me to you. Yeah, Christmas trees.
Very
and
thick.
I'm thinking, this mother. He's just sending me like on a ninth grade at 9. So I keep going and it's starting to widen up, and then I finally. Well, how far was I in?
You're about 3 miles, I guess. It's to the back of it. You're almost to the back, so 3 miles.
Okay, I've been lying to people saying it was 4.5, so it's 3.5
yeah,
probably.
If you're at the very back, it might be 4. I don't know exactly where you shot it in there, but I'm guessing 3+.
So I see the bear, and I've shot a ton of bears, so I didn't, I grabbed my camera, and I took some photos. I don't have binoculars. So I get a little closer, and I don't know if you've seen the picture. It ended up being a huge bear.
Huge,
so when I got to 90 yards, I was like, oh, I think I need to shoot this. So I got to 40. I shot at 37 yards. But anyway, I shot it and it died. Took some, I had photos myself, whatever. And
you're probably hunting logging roads, right?
Yeah.
New growth on logging roads.
It's actually a mining road.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yep. And so I scun it out and get it ready, and I get it in the pack, and which is another thing. It's funny. The internet celebrities know everything. There's you're the one that found it. That whole thread where everybody said I was lying. I couldn't fit the bear in the pack.
Yep.
You shot bear. You can fit.
Yeah,
there is no black bear that won't fit in a 7,200 cubic inch pack.
Right.
So I load everything in there, which was lucky. We were testing out the new frame. So I get down to the road, and my best friend Ryan isn't at the road to come get me. No one's at the road, and so
Dude, I was close.
yeah, I have to hike back on the highway to camp. So I get back to camp, and everybody's showing up, and you pulled the bear out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were full of it.
Yeah, but it was like a snake. He's pulling it out, and it ended up. It was even bigger. I knew how big it was in the sense of I didn't know how big it was for North Idaho.
Yeah.
I didn't know they didn't. Not that many big bears get pulled out of there.
I saw the pictures.
I've been around a lot of bear kills. I've shot a lot of bears. That's the biggest bear I've ever seen in North Idaho.
And I could have killed that with a stick bow or my knife.
Wow.
It was like creek, bear feeding away, wind in my face, and bears can't see crap that close. So once I got to 40, 40 for me with a compound was pretty easy decision, but I think I could have walked up and stabbed that thing. But it was so old, it had ear tags.
Oh, wow.
It'd been tagged a long time ago, so it was a cool.
How big was that bear? I mean, I know it was huge, but it was a 7-footer.
7'4" nose to tail.
Spring bear, and he was pushing that high 3 mark. If he was a spring bear, he'd been well over, or a fall bear, he'd been well over 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's just a big old bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now he's going to do it with a stick bow.
Yep. I got the recurve. I don't know if I'll end up shooting. Well, we might shoot a bear this spring with a stick bow. We'll see.
I've tried that a few times.
Yeah,
I haven't succeeded yet.
Fall, I'm gonna go out there and hunt in the fall with Ryan for elk the last week of season. Depends on how early I go out there. It's how quick I fill my tags in Colorado. But
North Idaho is built for sliver slinging with a stick bow. Either long range or stick bows. My longest shot on a bull elk is about 33 yards, I think. So.
That's got to be an acquired taste, though. Hunting that thick stuff up north.
He shot some big elk. He shot a lot of elk. In fact, Ryan was getting bashed the other week because what'd you shoot that? 1,400,
1583.
1580 shot his bull. He could shoot long range, right? And so what was funny from a perspective of knowing Ryan, but from an outside perspective, watching this, guys are posting like, grab a stick bow and learn how to hunt.
Yeah.
And then Ryan's not exactly a physical specimen. Guys are like, you mean a guy that size of course he has to shoot that distance. Well, I'm like, what do you got, 12 bulls on the wall hanging up? There's racks all over his house. He's got a 340 bull, all with a stick bow. And so guys are
He's
like.
done it that way too.
Well, yeah.
I shot more with a stick than I have with a rifle.
Yeah, he shot all kinds of stuff with a stick. So for me looking at it, I'm like, if you all knew how stupid you sound, because you've shot just about everything with a stick bow.
Yeah,
and
north in Idaho anyway.
A lot of it with a longbow.
Wow.
So I got a kick out of it because it's like, if people would just – my football coach used to say it's better to be stupid than speak and remove all doubt.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all I could think of, because it's like, don't judge a book by its cover, for one, but two, this dude's killed more with a stick bow than most people could think about, and here we are. Guys are bashing him because he took one, shot an elk a long ways with a gun. I guess.
Well, people don't realize that that's a choice. That's what you're out there to do.
Right.
It's, they look, you couldn't have got any closer. Well, you were making the choice. You were out there trying to do that.
My thing is why is it a factor? I don't care if you hunt with a bow, spear, as long as it's legal, just go do it.
Right.
We're all in the same sport. It's not like I want to eat the thing, so go do it.
No, I agree.
And there was another thing, and I don't know how you feel about this. The way Ryan commented on one of the comments, I agreed a lot of ways. Ryan just put, I like to kill, whatever, it doesn't matter. How stick, recurve, compound, gun. And a lot of guys that got on there, you could tell commenting probably didn't kill a lot, because what Ryan meant by that is, I like to eat the meat, I like to hunt, I like shooting animals. It's fun, right? It's not for me. It's not just if I wanted to go backpacking, I'd go backpacking. If I wanted to just be a competitive shooter, I'd be a competitive shooter. But I like to hunt. I'm a hunter, and I like, at the end of the day, I want to take meat home.
Right.
And I found out a lot of people posting on it actually don't kill anything as part of the problem. So
I think you're right. Yeah, I'm not in it for, and it's not nothing wrong with it. I'm not in it for the pure nature aspect. I can go camping and backpacking all summer. When when the season comes around, I want to shoot animals. I'm not in it to go hug trees.
And I can tell you, he eats he ate my bear, and I didn't want to eat it, so he took all the meat. I took some of the burger, but I mean, you got the whole. I got to drop my stuff off to a processor. I live in a condo, right? He's got the whole family gets together. Yeah. They process everything.
Well, and keep in mind, in Idaho, you don't have to even.
Yeah,
right,
you don't have to harvest
bear meat is delicious.
Yeah,
especially sausage, real greasy. It's good stuff.
You know what I found out on Instagram is you could shoot a spotted doe, right? You're okay. You shoot a bear, you're the Antichrist. I got death threats and everything else. Guys like, what'd you do with the meat? Yeah, I'm like, I ate it. Well, a guy said, competition is two people of equal skill going against each other. And so I sent the guy a message. I was like, does that mean the bear shouldn't eat the deer? Because that's not, that deer doesn't even really have teeth, right? Is that not fair? But it's amazing the outlook people have on.
Brian found that same thing when he got back from POW. Guys, a lot of people just giving a lot of grief over shooting a bear.
Oh, God forbid
people
if you shoot
understand.
A wolf. Yeah. Shoot a wolf. We post up a lot of wolf kills because I think it's important that people get out there and get after them. And nothing sends up a death threat like I'm going to murder you as a wolf kill.
It's not crazy.
Yeah. So we shot a wolf, so you're going to murder me. That makes total sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, we should probably get this thing wrapped up, I guess. I was amazed you actually got on here, so that's good.
Hey, and I didn't even think I said one F-bomb. I don't think so.
It's pretty clean. Katie's got a easy job here.
I know. I already got to give her a pack. Pretty soon she's going to have a teepee. She's going to have more Kafaro gear than you guys.
That's right.
Do you have like a
we'll be borrowing from her.
For cuss exchange?
It is. Well, I'm supposed to pay her money, but right now it's product, so which is good. She's a sweetheart, so.
Awesome.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks,
no problem.
Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, Gritty friends, I hope you enjoyed that podcast. If you did, please take a moment to leave us a review on iTunes, Podbean, or Stitcher. We love reading your reviews. And connect with us on social media if you're on there. Look us up on Facebook and Instagram, and take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can receive notifications when we upload new videos. We've got a sweet deal with Mountain Ops. You get 20% off on all Mountain Ops supplements, combo packs, and apparel when you type in the word Gritty at checkout. If you're a hardcore elk hunter, or you want to be, go to the Elk 101 website online and check them out. Our friend Corey Jacobson is killing it with some of the best elk hunting information and entertainment on the web. If you haven't heard, we're doing a huge gear giveaway to try and grow and expand the Gritty community on Facebook and Instagram. I asked a bunch of friends to pitch in on this gear giveaway, and they all came through with some awesome stuff. Our friends at Kifaru, Rokslide, First Light, Phelps Game Calls, One Shot Gear, Mountain Ops, Triple X Archery, Blacktail Outdoors, and Is It September Yet are pitching in some sweet gear for the giveaway. We'll announce all the details in the next few weeks. All you have to do to be entered to win is like our Gritty Bowmen Facebook page and follow us on Instagram. All right, friends, let me leave you with one other quote from Theodore Roosevelt, who said, "It behooves every man to remember that the work of the critic is of altogether secondary importance, and that, in the end, progress is accomplished by the man who does things." We all have a choice. We can be people who do things or people who criticize the work of others. It's pretty simple, really. Get out there and do your thing. Good luck on your hunts, and stay gritty.
This is Ty Stubblefield, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowmen.
Gritty Bowmen.